Yeah, FYI, my name is Ainsworth, but I'm not white. I'm black. Just in case you guys get confused, because my name is white.
Ain't nobody confusing that.
Can you tell my voice that I'm black, or do I sound white? That makes any sense.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Smart answer. Oh, you put your cards right there. Good job, man.
I still need a job after this, so.
Come on, KG. This is no different than that. This is me. All right? I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way.
Is the problem your lackluster defense, or is it the problems you're having offensively? Lackluster offense.
The problem is we're down 2-1.
Shouldn't we be getting back on defense?
Oh my God.
Defense, is that your cousin Damar?
What would you like people to know about you?
I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball.
Welcome to the Presser Basketball Podcast.
Welcome to the Presser Basketball Podcast. Game 3 in Wisconsin. Milwaukee dominating. Everything is just falling in. There's a holiday in July, and Giannis is just a freak in the night. Matthew, what went down in Milwaukee tonight?
I don't know how many puns you put into that one sentence.
That was sick. That was fucking sick, though. That was sick, though, man.
Yeah, Milwaukee up 20. We got about 3 minutes left in the game.
3 minutes to go.
Dominant win. Dominant performance by Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got some help from the two other key contributors in Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton started off well, kind of drifted off, but the clutch threes of Holiday this game were needed. It felt like
timely threes.
They felt like reverse roles of last game, where every shot that Phoenix hit was timely. This is the opposite. Devin Booker, I think, rimmed out about 7 of his shots. Mm-hmm. It's not that he had a bad game, but all of those I thought were going in, and they were just halfway in, halfway out. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it would have mattered with Giannis dominating inside. The pick and roll was unstoppable. There was like 4 guys on him for every possession. He didn't have to kick it out. He just get fouled, go to the line. Hit free throws today.
Mm-hmm. He did, buddy. I thought it was Steph Giannis under the Kumpo at the line. He shot like 8 free throws in a row. I was like, wow. And with the free throw, his form looks a lot more faster than usual. So that kind of shows that when he's away, that the crowd actually impacts his free throws. You know what I mean? So the fact he's knocking them down this game, if we can continue with Game 4, that'd be awesome. But Matthew, we got a series, man. What I took from this game was obviously they just hit shots, and Drew Holiday came alive. That was for me. One thing I took from SVG is Stan Van Gundy, if people don't know. People like Shaq are on NBA Insider is like, oh, just put your head down, be aggressive, right? That doesn't always result to like winning basketball games. You got to figure out when to be aggressive. You know what I mean? And I think Giannis picked his poison really well tonight.
It matters the positioning of where he was. I mean, he didn't have to necessarily start from the 3-point line most of the game. He was just down low.
No.
And he knew exactly who was going to be guarding him. So he just exposed the matchups for the most part. Honestly, I thought Phoenix started off hot. The pick and roll was working with Ayton. The mid-range was falling for Chris Paul. They were getting the looks that they wanted. And then just shots wouldn't fall. At the end of the day, the shots didn't fall for Phoenix. They had some costly turnovers. It felt like the Bucks played three-quarters full, like three-quarter press for most of the game. Like the desperation was from the jump. It felt like the first quarter was the fourth quarter. Honestly, the way that Milwaukee came out, urgency, the need to win, and they didn't overcomplicate it today. Milwaukee, for that part, they stuck to their game plan. They didn't have to. They let the game come to them, as opposed to letting Phoenix having to play catch up with Phoenix. You know what I mean? And they sagged off initially, but they caught up real quick with the defense. Even Brook Lopez was was coming forward. I mean, he's like we were talking about. He was at the free throw line for a lot of those possessions,
Right.
which really helps because you can't just be dropping on these guys because they're gonna rain in those shots and the turnovers here. I feel like the turnovers are costing.
That was it for me. That was it. And Jay Crowder had a pretty good game from the 3, finally in the series, which is kind of crazy. The X factor for me on Milwaukee, Bobby Portis came off the bench, gave that whole gym some life. Talking to the crowd, talking to Jay Crowder. He's a guy who would, just rejuvenate your team, and make things happen. He's not going to be a guy giving you 20 points per game, but you're damn right he's going to play his ass off, giving you some threes, getting close on the boards and stuff like that. So
those second chance points, right? They were dominating inside.
Oh, killed him.
Giannis was
killed him.
Rebound. Bobby P would get in there.
Killed him. Look, Mikal Bridges with 4 points after his game in game 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a bet last game for Mikal Bridges over 10 points, and he got that in like 3 quarters. Tonight he has 4 points, right? So they did a pretty good job covering him.
And that's why he's a star.
And there it is. And Ayton as well. So this is obviously a very young Phoenix team, and this is their first playoff run.
I think it was
and they're actually very fortunate.
Booker than Ayton, to be honest, in this performance. Ayton played his part. I think he played well. The foul trouble, I think, got to him.
5 fouls. 5 fouls.
Yeah, he
5
couldn't play. I'm thinking more offensive, defensively. Yeah, he had to sag
5
off.
fouls.
Yeah.
He played great on O. He did play good good offense, but
the pick and roll was great for him. He was getting exposed.
He was working.
In the
He was getting whatever he wanted. Exactly. Right? But the defense, 5 fouls is not going to cut it. And what happens is, as a young player, when you're down by so much, what happens is you start to like jump on every fake.
Pressure.
And when you don't know, when you kind of lose focus, you're going to start jumping, foul trouble. And as a big man, you can never jump sometimes. You got to know when to jump. And that was his problem for me. It's just that he wasn't being...
The youth exposed.
Yeah.
And Booker just had no rhythm today. And I mean, so many of those looked like they were going in, they were in, and then just popped out. I don't know.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to everybody. So
not a big deal. And we were both expecting this. I'm assuming. I don't know if you were...
We did say that. We did say game 3. Yeah.
I wasn't really expecting them to go up 3-0 against Milwaukee. I mean, they have some sort of presence, and I knew that Giannis was going to come out and have to give up his arm if he had to win this game, right? His
100%.
Offensive rebounding, he was basically giving up his arm. He was getting hacked left and right for those boards, second chance points. And the second thing is the free throws. I mean, even the fact that they didn't have that many, Phoenix, for the first time, under 70% in the game. That's crazy for a team which is over 85%, like one of the best historically in the playoffs. Free throw shooting team. I saw some of those rim out in the third quarter by Booker. I was like, yeah, this game is over.
Well, Chris Paul came out the third quarter, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And they made it on a big run.
Yeah,
and they
that was
couldn't
it.
take it from there because they brought it down to 4 points.
Do you know what? I have one thing to say again from Chris Middleton. If you're getting those, you're pit pocketing, you're getting those cookies. You gotta go up. You gotta go up when you win a match. You can't just be kicking these shots out. You gotta get to the free throw line, man. Like you were saying, it's so evident that he's a jump shooting guy.
Shooter.
And he will not go to the rim you gotta draw that foul. It worked out. It was a holiday 3 in this certain possession I was talking about. But you gotta get to the line sometimes, man.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a jump shooter. You don't really get the calls, man. If the only person getting that call is James Harden.
But also like getting in your head, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna get the call, so I'm gonna kick it out. And I mean, on those fast breaks, you gotta go up. That's the one thing that I have to criticize Milwaukee on. Everything else was great.
Once again, always good to see my boy Jeff Teague on the court too, playing 12 minutes. So shout out to
you just love them old heads.
Jeff, I love me some Jeff Teague, man. Oh man.
Predictions for next game.
Next game. I think it's going to be another Milwaukee game. I do not think they'll win by 20 points this time. I think they'll win by 10. But this is a series. I believe that the Milwaukee Bucks can duplicate what they did in Game 3. Reason being, people forget, home court advantage is a real thing. Okay?
Giannis wiggling them toes at the free throw line.
Buddy, you can tell how comfortable he is at the line at home. No problem. It's a lot faster in rhythm. And as a free throw shooter, rhythm is super, super, super key. Right? So, I think Drew Holiday will play well. Chris Middleton will be Chris Middleton, give me probably 20 points. I got to see if Bobby Portis will give me at least 10 off the bench. But I think this is a recipe for good things in the future. But I think it'll be a 2-2 by the end of this.
My heart's telling me the Suns, but my brain is telling me Milwaukee.
What's your dick telling you?
It's telling me that it needs to go to sleep, man. It's had a long day.
Nice.
You know what? Let's mix out. I'm gonna go Suns. I'm gonna go 3-1 because I have.
Oh,
6.
you went the Suns. Okay.
Probably the popular pick, or maybe not. Who knows? We'll see what the betting on.
It is a popular pick. You fucking basic bitch.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I like my chai tea macchiatos or whatever the fuck they drink. I just think that if we're talking about superstars and Booker's one in the making, I don't think he's gonna have another bad game like that. I think he was the goal and the turnovers. That was a big part of it. I think they're gonna play smart. I don't think Chris Paul is gonna allow that same situation. If not, he's just not gonna sit. If that's the case,
people forget what a superstar is, though. People forget what a superstar. There's
star. In the making.
There's role players.
In the making.
Yeah, because he's not a superstar yet. I wouldn't say he's a superstar. I think he's a star.
No, he's not. He's a star. He's a star for sure. But
Yeah.
he's not a superstar. But I'm saying one in the making. I think if he's gonna, this is the defining game. I think because I think whoever wins this game is gonna win the series.
Wins the series. I agree.
If Milwaukee can tie it up, I think they have momentum. So
100% agree.
So we'll see. We'll find out, and that is Tuesday night. So we'll record Tuesday, and then we'll get that out for Wednesday. All right, let's keep it moving, Ains. Colin Sexton, the trade rumor mill. He's getting shipped out. Cleveland has the third pick, I believe. Third pick, yeah, third pick because Houston has the second. So they have the third pick. They're either going with Suggs or Green, and they're looking to move Colin Sexton. He's looking, I think, for a max contract in the offseason. I have a few trade packages, or maybe not necessarily packages, or teams that would be interested. Do you want me to go through my list, and do you want to pick the ones that I mentioned, or do you have some that you want to?
Sure. Let's.
Okay.
I have maybe one, but let's hear your list.
Okay, so I have a list. All right, we'll start with your. Okay, I'm gonna give you the list off the top, and then you tell me the teams that we want to talk about. Okay. So I'll go with 5.
Okay,
I'll go with Los Angeles Lakers. I'll go with.
That's mine. That's mine.
I'll go with Boston Celtics. I'll go with the Philadelphia 76ers. I'll go with the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'll go with the Houston Rockets. Let's start with the Lakers.
Yeah,
I started with the Lakers.
Lakers.
You said you have the Lakers. It's going to be a Kuzma deal. I think we can agree on that. They need a wing. It would have to be centered around Kuzma, whatever else they can offer. In this case, we were talking about DeMar DeRozan last episode. We were talking about Kemba Walker. Colin Sexton, from fantasy perspective, when I had him, this guy shot over 50% from the field, over 80% from the his true shooting is incredible, especially for such a young age. He knows what to do. The biggest downfall is the inability to play off the ball. He's always a ball dominant player. I don't know how that will work around LeBron, but I'm sure he can. He's a great player, so I think he would. What do you have to say about the Lakers?
I think Colin Sexton would be a great fit to replace Dennis Schroeder, right?
So you're saying they wouldn't resign him for the $80 million deal?
There's no point of getting Dennis Schroeder back on the team if you have Colin Sexton. It's the same player, honestly.
I think Sexton's better, but I think he's more consistent.
Whoa.
But yeah.
Okay.
Younger for his age, I think.
For the age, yes, sure, you got me there, right? I think Dennis Schroeder might ask a lot for more money than Colin Sexton.
No.
Hence,
I think Colin Sexton wants a max or close to.
Like what? Like a 4?
I think he wants like a De'Aaron Fox deal.
Buddy, this is his first year. He averaged 24 points. He better know himself. What are you talking about?
This is what the rate for point guards are nowadays. It just feels like every single point guard that can average 20 points.
Matthew.
He's getting 140.
There's no 140 for Colin Sexton. What am I smoking, bro? Dick?
For 5
Are you crazy? You're nuts.
That's why
you're fucking nuts.
That's why they're trying to move him. I'm assuming that's what he wants.
What, you think he'd be moved by before the season starts again, or?
I forget the contract situation. Is it next season that he has to
I think it's this year. I think it's next season.
I don't know. I think it's next because they wouldn't try to. I don't know because they wouldn't try to move him. He'd just be a free agent, right?
Yeah.
At this point then. So I think they still have him for one more year. That's the situation. So he's going to be looking. Let's see how he plays, right? Regardless, but if they move him earlier,
This guy's $120 million. You're gonna be smoking dick, bro.
listen. If he's averaging more than Dennis Schroeder. He's got a better overall percentage.
Playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Are you kidding me?
But the percentages are there. Like, he's the number one option, so he's getting the coverages, right? So he's not playing bad.
For the Cavaliers, Matthew.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you. I know they're a shit franchise with LeBron, but like, yes, he averaged 24 points last year, but like, I'm not paying him more than $80 million.
But okay, you might not be. But can you be confident that there's 30 teams and one of them won't offer him that money? You've seen way worse contracts than what Colin Sexton's going to get this season.
There is no way the Lakers are going to offer Colin Sexton a 4-year fucking $120 million contract. You got to be out your fucking mind.
So I don't know if the trade will go through then in that case, because I think that's what he wants. I think that's what the agent's going to be telling him. So
wow,
it's going to be tough.
Wow.
I don't know. One of these teams, I think he's gonna get close to 120.
Wow, maybe from Sacramento, maybe.
Yeah, no, they're not moving. They're not moving on from Ty. They have Tyrese for a few years, and they already have their Colin Sexton.
De'Aaron Fox and all that. Maybe like a Pistons or something.
Well, yeah, that was one of my options, but I don't know. I think they're gonna stick with Kate. I would not move it there. I think they were trying to move up to number 1. I don't think Detroit's gonna budge. Okay, so if I can mention the Houston Rockets, I have atop of my list. I think he'd be a fun fit next to KPJ, Christian Wood. They have the second pick. I think it'd be a Jayshawn Tate and some picks centered around that. They need a reliable guard in Cleveland to be a backup. I think he also play the wing. And it'd be fun, to be honest. I think 2 scorers. Let's just see what happens. And
I don't like that actually.
No.
Just because I think egos will clash.
Yeah, definitely. That's my number 1 reason why I want to see it. I want to see the world burn sometimes, man. I just want to see the world
with
burn.
KPJ and a Colin Sexton, but they don't call him Young Bill for no reason, bro. He's a bull. See what I'm saying? So
will be popping up.
Both talented guards. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
KPJ is he is talented as fuck, but those people ego will take the career away.
I mean, Christian Wood himself, I think, has a little bit of that, a little bit of an edge. So.
I wouldn't say Christian Wood. He worked his ass off from where he came.
He does, but just hearing he was so butthurt not being with the All-Star selection. Like, man, you were injured for half the season up until you're not getting it. It's your first time. Like, what are we talking about? He's a little bit butthurt, and he played really well, and I get it. He was just disappointed, but I'm just saying, it would be fun, but Okay, so what one do you want to talk about? Philly, Boston? We're talking more Boston or New Orleans. So Philly, Boston, or New Orleans?
I want to hear your New Orleans pick. I want to see why you chose New Orleans.
Because I think Lonzo's walking away. I don't think they're going to resign him.
I thought you would say that. Yeah.
Eric Bledsoe he's proven not to be the guy.
Where has he been?
He's proven not to be the guy.
Oh my God. Where did he go?
This might be had a good season this year. Just he's had 4 seasons now where it's just been balls.
Yeah, absolute just balls.
Right? I don't know how to describe it. I'm not gonna be
just
about
balls.
it. Just balls. I think the age range perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The only discrepancy is again the ball in his hands compared to Zion.
A Zion or Brandon Ingram.
Right, and I don't know his defensive inabilities at times flash. It's also because he's very young. They come to the surface, but again, maybe they can figure it out. They need a point guard. If Lonzo doesn't sign, that's my only discrepancy. And it would be fun. Again, I'm going to mention the last. So, Philly, I'm going to go quick. Ben Simmons would be the main package. I think it might be the most actual realistic. If it happens, with Joel Embiid would be electric. I think that would probably work the best out of any team, to be honest. Maybe with the Lakers, but they don't really have the same package to offer. And then for Boston, they need a point guard. Marcus Smart would probably be moved. He'd probably be the vet presence on that Cleveland team. Maybe they'd do something with him off the bench or something like that.
Bro, I would trade Ben Simmons for Bill Simmons, bro. Colin Sexton is fine for Ben Simmons.
So you like that? You like the Philly package?
I like that actually. That actually works.
And listen, a Ben Simmons and what's my boy with the fro? I love the guy. Jared Allen, backcourt. Defensively, I do not hate it. And because I don't want him. I mean, they're gonna try to play him at point guard, which is stupid. They should have him at the 4 and then have Garland and whoever comes in. So listen, if we're talking draft real quick, I'm gonna go up. Jalen Suggs, I think, is going to be one of the best players off from this draft. I think you said this. I think you said you liked.
I did say it.
The thing is between Green, Jalen, right? Jalen Green and Suggs. I think Green is more of an individualistic player. He's going to get his. I think Suggs is a winner.
Is a team player.
I think straight up he's a winner, and we like our winners on this podcast. So whoever gets Suggs, I mean, if they land Suggs in Toronto, like I'd be mad because I want him on Toronto. I think he'd be a great addition, and he's the kind of guy that will make other guys better, and that's what you need for a young team. So if they get Suggs, I would move on from Sexton right away, have him, Garland, and then Benson's at the 4. So we spent a lot of time on that, but I think there's a lot of packages, and it's just fun to talk about where like young talent can go. And realistically, I don't want any talent to be in Cleveland because they're gonna fuck it up anyway. So speaking of fucking it up, Amin Elhassan. I love Amin, but bringing up some rumors.
A Wolves bomb.
Yeah. I
was waiting for that. I
wrote this in his journal over and over again. That's a good one. He dropped the Wolves bomb.
He dropped the Wolves bomb.
Wojnarowski? I'm Polish, I can't even say, I forget. But Woj apparently not favoring other colleagues, especially black colleagues in ESPN. He had a superiority or an inferiority complex, whichever one suits you guys pick. I'm not that smart. But apparently he couldn't get access to certain players like LeBron and other black athletes who didn't just, I guess, plain terms fuck with him. And he was jealous of the people who could, try to bring them down. I mean, for the most part, I've never really heard him say anything that he says a lot of outlandish things, but they come to be true at the end of the day. And you know what? From what I hear, it's not wrong. The way Woj acts, he kind of sits on his high horse at ESPN. And to be honest, I hope ESPN just burns to the ground anyway. And we're seeing it really just slowly happen.
Buddy, the past 2 weeks we're seeing the true colors of ESPN, and it's not looking nice. Kind of surprising because I actually like Woj, man. Fuck. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, what does ESPN do? I mean, they're not really. He said he's not gonna put a statement for what happened and stuff like that, obviously. But I mean, he's been a guy who's always been that outlandish guy who says whatever he wants to say with no fucking repercussions, right? And some things he says is just like, I mean, shut the fuck up, whatever, right? But as you said, like most of the things that he says do come to light, right? So.
Especially things that like he was a video coordinator and an assistant, I think, on Phoenix during the match day. Like he had a lot of stories, and I just love listening to him because I think he's super funny on different podcasts. But for the most part, he doesn't say things that aren't true. And I've heard it, and I've looked into the grapevine. There are more reports of him stepping on people, and they were talking about Mark Spears, how he got Mark Spears fired. He's like, I'm not gonna work if someone else is doing my job for me. Got him fired, so I don't even know if it's racist.
He's a snobby little asshole for sure. He's a little snobby little asshole.
So I don't know if Amin's right with the racist term. Maybe it's a little bit out, but I just think he's more pressed on other people's talent at ESPN, if we could say that. He's more like standoffish, right, with people who have similar roles or who can do his job, and he tries to get rid of them. Maybe that's the fact. Let's keep it moving on. We keep it moving on. USA. Loses to
USA.
Nigeria.
USA.
So I got 2 takes for you, okay? Okay, so the first one is, what number is Kevin Durant picking on Team Nigeria?
Wow.
And the second take, which is more serious, is do players nowadays revert back to their AAU days or like their summer run days where it's just all ice, like there's no real team basketball, and that's why they get exposed. They can't create open shots for themselves, as opposed to like a Nigeria or a France or like these players who like play the way you like, beautiful basketball, and they get open shots. Does USA make it too hard on themselves in some of these cases? I know it's just exhibition, but I just feel like there's more and more of these moments where 20 years ago they would never have this happen.
Of course. And here's what I've been seeing with these games. So teams like Australia, Nigeria, those teams are not full of superstars, Matthew. They're full of role players. So off the top of my head, I think of Patty Mills, who hit a game winner this morning. I think of Joe Ingles. I think of other like not Luca, but I guess other role players like Dellavedova. Those guys know how to play team basketball.
Dellavedova, breaking
right?
news, I think he's actually playing to sign a 3-year deal in Australia.
He is. I just saw that like not too long ago, actually. But Team USA is a bunch of players who are superstars in their own team and combined in one pool. Am I saying it can't work? No. That being said, it's a bunch of egos together. How am I going to make this work? Because international basketball is different from NBA basketball. Because it's more of a team game. Yes, one player can carry to the promised land, but it's more of a team effort. What do you think about that?
I think 100%. And the only way it counteracts it is if these talented dudes want to step on the necks of opposing teams, like Michael Jordan did when everyone watched that Dream Team documentary. Every single one of those players was out for blood. Charles Barkley was trying to murder Team Nigeria.
Everybody, bro.
He was trying to get a 50-piece if he could. These guys are too cool right now, and they're taking it easy. Maybe it's exhibition, maybe it's not too much of a mention. But didn't they just lose in FIBA?
They did. It wasn't
their star players, but it was guys like Jason Tatum and Kemba Walker. They're no slouches.
They lost.
They should. Yeah. And Donovan Mitchell. These guys aren't slouches. They're stars in the playoffs.
What was the year when they lost the championship? I think was it 2004?
2004, but that was like they got a bronze medal, I think, in the Olympics. Yeah, with Vince Carter, Marbury. But
yes,
those
Richardson.
Similar team to this.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying,
yes,
it's an exhibition. You gotta take these games serious because these habits will become a trend, and you don't want these stuff to become a trend, right? So, one thing that kind of got me going for Nigeria was Precious Achua.
Young band.
Those guys are role players. Yep, Josh Okogie for the Timberwolves. Like these are guys in the league that can give you 15 points.
That's why they're in the league, because you see their talent when it comes to international play.
And this shows how the NBA has grown in terms of worldwide continuity. It's just like there are players who play on different teams, such as Nigeria, Spain. They're talented players on those teams, man, and they'll win games as a team, not just by one person scoring 55 points.
If you're gonna go honor Kobe, it's not the way to do it, guys. So if you're gonna go out there and say this one's for Kobe, I hope you win by 50 next game.
I hope you win by 50. I hope you do, because that is disrespectful to Kobe's name by itself.
Yeah, I mean,
right? So
he'd be giving him the same face he did on like the 2015 Lakers.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just with that smirk, like what the fuck is going on?
Talent's there, Matthew, but the guys gotta put their skills together and make it work, like Space Jam.
I need to see some the next game. I hope they come out and because that's what people come to watch USA, man, to see these guys ball out like in the Drew League. But apparently they're just in it for themselves. We'll see. I mean, Drew, if Greg Popovich isn't worried, I'm not worried. So we'll see what's coming up, and it's just an exhibition game. But it's fun to talk about, and it's always fun to see the trend of USA basketball. And also, you know what? The world competition is getting better. International play is getting better, and that's what we love to watch.
A lot better. There we go.
Ains, it's late. Gotta edit this shit. Gotta get it out. Last time with you, man. It was a great time. Take us home.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the pod on Apple Music, Spotify. Make sure you tune in on Monday. Is it Monday?
It's gonna be this one's gonna be out Monday morning, yeah, and then
Monday morning.
Wednesday for the next one.
Monday morning. Hope you guys have a great night. Viva la Italy, winning the Euros. I'm out.
It wouldn't be a podcast if you didn't mention some kind of European sport. Peace.